Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am super excited to have you here today. We're going to jump right in because today we are exploring the absolute bleeding edge of the invisible engines that power pretty much our entire digital lives, modern data centers. If you've ever found yourself wondering how on earth the massive, sprawling infrastructure behind cloud computing actually stays online without collapsing into total chaos, well, you are in for a real treat. We're going to be looking at a frankly fascinating solution from Supermicro called SuperCloud Composer. But before we really get going, I want you to think about this. How do you manage a massive data center without completely losing your mind? I mean, seriously, imagine it. Thousands of servers, miles of networking cables, absolutely immense power requirements, and cooling systems that are running at maximum capacity, 24/7. When something goes wrong, and let's be honest, something always goes wrong, how does an IT admin even know where to begin? The stakes literally couldn't be higher here. Just one uncoordinated system can trigger massive, costly downtime. So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the data center dilemma. Then, we'll introduce SuperCloud Composer. Third, unified management. Fourth, liquid cooling control. Fifth, analytics and smart alerts. And finally, the future of IT infrastructure. All right, part one, the data center dilemma and the specific challenges we're facing today. Look, modern data centers are basically facing a crisis of complexity right now. Administrators are dealing with totally fragmented infrastructure management. They're stuck relying on legacy systems that just don't communicate well with modern software-defined processes. A massive pain point here is the lack of a standardized Redfish northbound API message bus, which is basically just tech speak for saying that different parts of the data center literally don't know how to talk to each other seamlessly. Add to that the headache of trying to scale lifecycle tasks across multiple centers, and it's a complete recipe for inefficiency. And perhaps the most critical issue, inadequate access to crucial metadata weakens RBAC, that's role-based access control, which opens up some pretty major security risks. It's disorganized, it's fragmented, and it's incredibly costly. Moving on to part two, introducing SuperCloud Composer. Enter SuperCloud Composer, or SCC for short. This is designed to be the ultimate single pane of glass. Instead of having to jump between a dozen different screens and completely disjointed tools, administrators get this comprehensive dashboard. It integrates compute, storage, networking, and rack management all into one intuitive interface. It basically pulls everything together so you can actually see the health and status of those huge physical server racks through a crystal clear, software-defined lens. What SSC really does is connect all those physical assets to a highly intelligent software layer. This enables things like pooled NVMe over Fabric, meaning ultra-fast networked storage, and OS provisioning that just happens at lightning speed. It's really all about turning cold, hard metal into a dynamic, manageable resource. Okay, part three, unified centralized management. So the crucial takeaway here is the stark contrast between the old way of doing things and the SCC way. The old way meant fragmented metadata, tedious manual troubleshooting, and painful system downtime during maintenance windows. The SCC way? Effortless updates. Imagine being able to streamline your firmware updates and deploy operating systems across hundreds of servers with barely any downtime. SCC even aggregates and analyzes logs from all your servers into one single centralized repository. That completely simplifies your troubleshooting and your compliance reporting. It actually frees up IT resources for strategic tasks rather than just forcing them to constantly put out fires. And you know, power is literally everything in a data center. SCC features advanced rack power management via its PDU, or Power Distribution Unit Console module. Now, this isn't just a glorified on-off switch. This gives admins incredibly detailed asset information and sensor data, laid out in a really nice, easy-to-navigate hierarchical tree view. You can locate and manage every single PDU within your rack with absolute precision. It's complete control over the lifeblood of your entire infrastructure. Which brings us to part four, liquid cooling control. We all know that modern AI and GPU-heavy workloads run intensely hot. Air cooling it doesn't cut it anymore, right? So SCC includes the Liquid Cooling Console Module, or LCCM. This system collects and analyzes vital physical asset data straight from your CDU, the cooling distribution unit. We're talking real-time sensor metrics on coolant temperatures, flow rates, pressure, humidity, and even the status of individual pumps and valves. It actually manages both your air-cooled and liquid-cooled servers within the exact same interface, making sure your hybrid infrastructure is running as cost-effectively as possible. But, okay, what happens when liquid cooling goes wrong? Because a leak inside a data center is literally a nightmare scenario. With SCC, the response is entirely automated. Step 1, the CDU detects a leak. Step 2, the system's policy-based enforcement immediately triggers the leak protection policy. Step 3, auxiliary power automatically switches off. Bam! Crisis averted. It doesn't wait around for a human to notice an alert on a screen. It's proactively and automatically safeguarding your infrastructure. All right, part 5, analytics and smart alerts. SCC packs a seriously advanced analytics engine. It grabs all your historical trend data, stores it in index databases, and visualizes it right in front of you. Through these really intuitive visual tools, an admin can track, observe, and record health analytics pretty much at a glance. It gives you a fully holistic view of your compute, storage, and networking operations. You're constantly getting predictive analytics and up-to-the-minute monitoring, which is exactly what you need to actually stay ahead of the curve. And you're never going to miss a critical event thanks to the smart alerting features. SCC uses a multi-tier alert agent. You can set highly customizable policy conditions, meaning you only get notified for actual critical issues. Say goodbye to alert fatigue. These alerts can be sent instantly via email or even through an HTTP relay that hooks right into your call management system. If there is a real-time temperature anomaly, the exact right person knows about it instantly, with the exact location and data they need to go fix it. Finally, part 6, the future of IT infrastructure. Now, SuperCloud Composer isn't just a quick band-aid for today's problems. It is deeply scalable. Whether you are running a smaller operation or a massive hybrid data center, it adapts to you. It does require specific enterprise licenses, like the SF-to-STCD or DCMS singles, but once you're set up, this platform scales effortlessly right alongside your growing enterprise needs, fully supporting evolving AI infrastructure and workload orchestration on its roadmap. If you take absolutely nothing else away from this explainer, let it be this core ethos: intelligent data center management from a single, unified console. That is the real value proposition here, trading in the fragmented, chaotic old ways for clarity, automation, and effortless oversight. It's all about keeping your IT green, efficient, and firmly under your control. So I'm going to leave you with this to chew on. As data centers continue to grow, vastly more powerful, way more complex, and heavily reliant on advanced tech like liquid cooling, is your management software actually ready to take command? Or are you still trying to navigate a digital labyrinth in the dark? It's definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, and I will see you next time.